Welcome everyone to the first ever episode of, well, actually I don't even know yet. I don't know what I'm gonna call this, but I guess it's like the Firemac show, but that sounds really lame. But besides that, I'm here to talk to you about the Final Fantasy 15 demo and what I think about it. So, I've been super excited. I've been waiting and waiting for Final Fantasy 15 to come out, and we're finally seeing a demo of it. So of course I had to get my hands on it. So first things first, let me tell you all the good things that are going to come out of this demo. Well, what it means for the main game. The graphics look amazing. Like, you have no idea. This is like the best quality graphics I've seen out of Final Fantasy yet. It is drop down gorgeous. I mean, sure, if you like look here and there, like closer to some objects, you might see the textures. But overall, everything looked great. The character models look fantastic. Heck, even the NPCs have a little more detail to them than you would expect. It's pretty damn good. And the creatures, oh my god, this game is just breathtaking to take. I mean, not to sound redundant there, but it just looks amazing. The music sounds amazing. I can't say much for the story because we don't really know what's happening with the story. The demo kind of gives us a look from what we've seen. The demo doesn't really cover the story. We just get this, like, it's kind of like a filler episode, I want to say. It's just something that happens to these characters along the way, and they have to repair their car. So you have to go explore and pretty much just earn money. And the way they earn the money is to kill a behemoth called Deadeye. And that's pretty much the entirety of the demo, but you do so much within this demo. There's like extra little side quests that pop up intermittently that you don't have to do them. The new save system is really interesting. Like, you don't have save points per se, but you have rest points. And these rest points are where the game saves. There's also checkpoints, but the checkpoints don't stay around. The checkpoints only stay around while you have the game loaded up. So, like, in other words, you'll get a checkpoint, but the moment you turn off the system, that checkpoint is gone. So the checkpoint is only there if you fail. In other words, if you die. Once you die, they send you back to the checkpoint. Which in some cases can be quite detrimental. Like, it can hurt you a lot, because especially if there's a cutscene in the area, you kind of have to sit. Well, you don't have to sit through a cutscene. You can actually skip cutscenes, but you're gonna have to go through all the little events again within the area, which can be a bad thing if there's like a lot that happens. Man, I can't think of the right shit. Maybe I should have scripted this. So basically, there's an incentive to not die. Let me just say that. In addition to what the rest points offer save-wise, rest points are your only way of actually leveling up. It's very interesting. Like most games, you just gain experience, and once you get the experience you need, you level up immediately. But no, in Final Fantasy 15, what happens is that you accumulate experience constantly until you go to a rest point. And once you go to the rest point, all that experience applies to your character, then you level up. In addition to that, there's actually like different kinds of food you eat during the rest points, and depending on what you have in your food, gives you different stat boosts. Heck, you can even get immunity to status ailments, which is essential to completing this demo, if you ask me. I really like the system. It really, I don't know, it just changes the dynamic quite a bit. The game feels real, like every action you take, the actions feel great. There was even a wind animation. Like, there was wind and it blew your clothes up. Your hair, you could hear the wind. That's how detailed they are to the realism of Final Fantasy 15, and I incredibly enjoy that. The fighting is pretty basic from what you would expect from an action RPG, but there's a little bit to it. I mean, there's even a parry system, which unfortunately to my experience, I had a hard time actually getting the parry right. Like, I don't know, I found the timing a little awkward, so I hope they fine-tune that so it's a little more doable, or maybe I didn't understand how to do it correctly. But you use square to attack, and you have different, like, all the blades you have are like different stages of your attack combo, like, and whatever you have as your first weapon slot changes what technique you can use. So there's definitely some strategy to how you attack. And it's going to be interesting to see how far in depth that's going to get. And knowing Final Fantasy, they really do get in depth with their combat system, so it'll be interesting to see what we can do. I haven't seen any form of magic system, but there is MP. But what I've seen from MP is that MP is pretty much what you use for just about anything you do in the game besides a normal attack. Like, holding L1 lets you dodge attacks, and that consumes your MP if you dodge. Just about everything you can do costs MP. And the thing is, your MP doesn't, like, there's no need for ethers. All you need to do is just wait it out, pretty much. Because your MP will refill naturally over time. But despite that, there's still consequences for using up your MP too fast. If you use up all your MP, you go into what is called a stasis. And you just pretty much, you're paralyzed. You can't move. You like drop down to the ground on your knees because you're like exhausted. You wasted too much MP. They really did show us a lot in this demo, more than you can think of. Like, there's like this system called the Armiger. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that. But basically, once your MP is full, you press L1 and R1, and then all your blades come out. I didn't quite understand that. I don't think the demo really explained that too well. And what I found with the combat is that it's really hard to try to shake up what you do, because most of the time, if you try to shake it up, you waste your MP so fast that you don't realize it. I found that you focus on one attribute of what your MP does, you do a lot better in combat, at least from my experience. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but it's a good combat system. I haven't even talked about it, but the warp strikes, those are great. Like, you can lock onto an enemy from far away, and then all you have to do is press X, and you just fly straight to them, and you just strike them. And that feels amazing. So there's never like, if you see an enemy far away, there's never this idea that you have to run that whole distance just to attack them. No, you just press X, and you fly straight to them, and you strike them. And that same mechanic is what you've seen in demos. I mean, not demos, but the trailers, where Noctis flies up and like hangs onto a ledge. The only problem I have with the combat is that I think the MP balancing is probably not utilized as best as it could. And my only other complaint with the combat system is that I find the parrying system is not as good as it could be. I feel like the game doesn't do a good job telling you when exactly it's the best time to actually hit the parry buttons. Because you get these little orange markers above your head that lets you know that you can try to parry something. But the moment that you can actually try to parry it's not really shown. Like, while I was playing in the tutorial, I was stuck at the parrying section for the longest time. Because I just couldn't tell when it was the proper time to press the L1 and square combo, the freaking counter to attack. And heck, every time, I didn't even know if I was doing it right, because once they tell you how to do it, there's like no little message that keeps reminding you what you're supposed to do, so I don't know, I felt really dumb because I wasn't doing it right, but I don't know, it might be a me problem, but I feel like that's something that needs to be addressed in the final game. The summons. Oh my god, the summon. You get one summon in the demo, and it is crazy. I can't even imagine. I can't even think of a way to properly tell you guys. This thing is huge. It's gonna get you. Well, it's not gonna get you, but it's gonna wow you. It's way bigger than I expected. But going off the summon, I guess that's a good way, a segue into what I have issues with the game, besides what I've already said so far. I find that the summons might be a little broken. I'm not sure, I think that maybe the game didn't tell us there's a limitation to it, but the way you use the summons, that your health goes down to 0, you get a chance summon. You just hold down X and you summon, and then the summon pretty much annihilates the freaking field. If that's all that you need to summon, can't you just abuse that every time and just kill everything without really fighting? I really hope that's not the case. I haven't really experimented too much with the summon, so if anyone else who's played the demo wants to tell me otherwise, let me know in the comments below. But that just reminded me something. I need to go back and talk about something with the combat system. Your allies are all AI controlled, which is not a problem because they can take care of themselves for the most part. But there's an interesting system with the health. Like, it's real easy for your health to go down to 0, but that doesn't mean you're incapacitated completely. See, what happens is that you go into this state where you can't attack, and all you can do is run away. And there's only one of two things you can do: run, run for your life, or you wait for one of your AI partners to come rescue you, which you can do the same for your party members. Rescue them, and rescue them refills their HP and everything, and you're fine. But that doesn't mean you're invincible. Like, once you go into that 0 state, they can actually keep whittling down your health. Like, you have like a secondary health bar in a sense. Every time they hit you in this state, your maximum HP goes down, which means the longer you go on like this, it's harder to stay alive. And once you do lose your health completely, that is when the game over happens. But if you make it out the battle fine, your HP is refilled. So healing is not much of an issue, but trying to fight properly is. If you don't know how to use a combat system to your advantage, you will hurt, and it will hurt badly. Oh, trust me, I've already been there in the demo. Going back to my cons with the game, I'm a little worried about the frame rate with the game. I had a lot of problems with the frame rate. It ran pretty smoothly for a good chunk of the demo, but then I came to the point where you actually track down the behemoth, you start actually going to his lair, and then that's when I started experiencing a game that really chugged. The frame rate really dipped big time, and it happened a lot as I kept playing. I really hope that is not a big issue in the final game. I hope that is just a demo issue, because if you don't have a solid frame rate, that's really gonna hurt your playability of the game. So I really hope the final game does not have that. And the game is a little bit glitchy from what I've experienced. There was this point where I actually did a warp strike and got stuck in a tree. Luckily I got out, but I was stuck literally. I clipped inside the tree and I couldn't get out. And it was really bad because I kept getting hit, and I was like dying constantly, which surprisingly I didn't actually get a game over, but I managed to get out of it. But that's an issue. So the game's not glitch free, but hopefully that's not much of an issue. Another problem I had was the game might be a little too realistic, because I found sometimes when you're knee deep into the action, you're like wobbling and all this stuff, and you're like slipping, sliding across the dirt. And when you're doing that, you might be trying to go one direction, but your character's still in the animation of sliding backwards, so it gets a little awkward at times. So, and then you try, and it takes just the littlest pixel or the polygon or whatever, where you get stuck on the other characters, and that can get really frustrating. So the game can be really awkward at times with these controls, and I really hope they tweak that so it's better. But there's a lot of moments like that where I was getting frustrated because I kept running into things when I really didn't want to. It was really... And another big problem I have is when you're trying to run away, if you hold down the square button, you actually run faster, but that's the same button to attack. So when you're trying to run away from a group of enemies and you're holding down square to try to run, you actually end up attacking the enemy instead, and it just puts you in a dangerous situation. That's a big problem. I really hope they fix that in the final game, or at least let us map it differently in the control settings, if there is going to be control settings. So that is one of my big issues with the game. I really hope they address all these little things. Well, they're not little things, these technical things with the game itself. I really hope they fine-tune that. And knowing Square Enix, they should be able to do that. I know they're capable of that. Square Enix is a game with a ton of polish. Also, I forgot to mention that in this game, or for the demo anyway, you could actually choose the Japanese or English voice tracks. So that's great. So if you really rather experience the Japanese tracks, you can. And if you want to do the English, you can do that as well. And don't worry, there's subtitles too. So it's like, I really hope they keep that for the final game too. Because I know there's a lot of people who enjoy that. I enjoy it myself too. In fact, I might do two playthroughs of the game just so I can experience the English and the Japanese version of it. I'm really excited for it. There's so much more to this game than I know this demo showed us. But holy crap, I'm blown away from what I've seen so far. I'm extremely excited. I'm so happy. Just to give you a little background, I'm one of those people that actually didn't hate Final Fantasy 13. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. But I know it wasn't the best Final Fantasy it could be. Final Fantasy 15, on the other hand, I feel like it's just gonna blow everyone away. Especially if they address all those issues with the demo. So Square Enix, if you're watching, please fix those things before the game comes out. I cannot wait to play this game. I'm really excited, and I hope this little video has encouraged any of you doubters. It's gonna be great. Trust me. I can't wait. I can't wait. So yeah, that brings a close to this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. And let me know what you think of this video format in the future. Like, not all my videos are gonna be like this, but this was like a special occasion because it was a demo of a highly anticipated game for me. I wanted to cover it. But expect more videos in this similar fashion. Like, hey, I might even review a game like this. So, like, just let me know what you think in the comments below. Any changes you want me to do? Maybe you rather me do a script, or maybe you like that I talk to you face to face like this. I mean, there will be scripted videos, don't get me wrong. But just let me know. I'm really excited. This is my first real video about a game, and I really want to make my channel even better, so let me know. I'm excited to do as many things as I can to make this channel better, make everything better. So yeah. So if you want to see more, subscribe and hit that like button as well. That helped me a lot. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. See ya! Hey there, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's my first real stride to make some real content for this channel, and I hope to keep up the quality as I keep going forward. Also, if you check out my links down below there, to the left there will be hopefully a link to my Let's Play of the demo itself. It may not be up the moment this goes up, but hopefully I'll have that up soon, real soon. And if you check out the other thumbnail, that's a little video that me and my friends made called Gamer Talk. It's just a little get-together where we just talk about some gaming news, some gaming topics. It doesn't have to be gaming news, but we just talk about whatever. And we may do that more often in the future, but that's all we're gonna do. And yeah, as always, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to see more of my stuff. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. See you later.